computer. All right, so last time I challenged James to go and do what I have a little ritual that I've done with a few friends, and you know, I challenged James to come and do it with me, and it was super fun. And I'm going to ask him some questions. I'm going to have him share his experience. But the challenge is really, I mean, is jumping in the cold water, and the water is not even that cold. It's not like we're jumping in ice cold water, but the challenge is when your mind, you know, and that's what we're going to cover today, how the mind plays with you, how the mind tricks you, tries to trick you, and all the things that come with it. And James is going to share that with you on his personal experience. So why don't you tell James, tell us what it was. I mean, we met early in the morning, house, we met 7 o'clock, and we went down to the beach and parked our cars and start to run. Tell us how much we ran, what we did. I know I put some stuff here on social media that people probably seen it, but share with us, share your experience. How was it? How do you feel? Everything, please. Can you hear me?
It started at 7 p.m. Yes, can you hear me? It's a really bad line, Santi. Can you hear me okay?
Now it's good, yeah.
I'm going to drop the Zoom because I think it's a bad line, and I'm going to go
please,
to
thank
where
you. So, in the meantime, yes, I can hear you perfectly. Right. Awesome. So, yes, it's a very good experience from every level. You know, I mean, we can go and start talking about all the health benefits that you know, jumping in cold water have for your immune system and for your skin and for your cells and for your body. But so last night, let me go back a little bit. I was cooking dinner, and as I was cooking in my mind, literally, I called James basically, you know, through my mind, because I was like, you know, we know each other for a long time. I know how he operates. I know he's got anxiety, and I said, at one moment my phone's gonna ring with a questionnaire, you know. So sure enough, my phone rings, and he starts by asking me, "Hey, so we're doing tomorrow? What time? And where are we meeting? What should I wear? Is there gonna be fish in the water?" I'm like, "Of course there's fish in the ocean." You know, he's like, "Yeah, but are they gonna be close? Are they gonna? Are we gonna feel the fish in our in our legs?" And I'm like, "No, I never felt any fish, you know." And he's like, "Okay, that sounds good." Then, you know, I felt like, you know, maybe I should talk to him a little longer, because I know that he needs that, you know, pep talk before things happen. So I call him back and I'm like, "Look, it's gonna be fine." And then he goes, "Is there rocks? How is it? Is it sand? Is it rocks?" And then, you know, it's just a number of questions. And then one of the last questions was like, "What are we wearing?" You know, and then he went, "By any chance, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but do you have any swimming plugs for the ears?" I'm like, "What?" So I'm like, "We're not gonna go in a 5-mile swim, you know." But I said, "No, my wife has some earplugs that she uses for sleep. I can bring some of those." And he's like, "Yes, please bring it. That would be a game changer for me." Whatever. I said, "No problem." So I grabbed the earplugs and I brought it to him. But one of the amazing things, and here's really how the mind works is, I honestly been down there a ton of times. I've been, I done the plunge, I done the swim, and I go to the ocean once a week. I never, ever seen in that spot where I go anyone fishing on the beach. And guess what? First thing we see this morning, there's a guy there with his freaking fishing. And in my mind, I go like, James created this because I never seen this. And now that he's scared of fish, now we're gonna get there. And of course, has to be a guy fishing right there in the point where we're gonna jump in the water. So I see that and I think about it, but I don't say anything. So we go in our 4+ mile run. We come back and we're psyched up and we get to the ocean. I set up the camera and I see the guy. He doesn't see it. We go and jump in the ocean. Actually, as you can see in the video, he beat me to it. He went before me. So everything went great. And when you go in the water, it's cold. It's not freezing cold, but it's pretty cold. And it's amazing to feel that. And if you breathe in the water and you start doing this breathing exercise, you actually don't feel anymore and you can stay there for extended long time. But when you come out of it, and what James saying, my body was numb, you do get, obviously your blood rushes to your organs, to your heart, to liver, all the important, your brain, in survival mode. And that's what's good about it. It gets your blood to circulate through your entire body. And that's why you feel a little bit of numbness, because your blood's going from your arms and your legs into your main organs. But you do feel that numbness and you come out of the water, and the cold is the last thing across your mind, right, James? Were you cold? Nothing. Absolutely. So, there's two separate things on this, right? So, one is your mind playing with you, right? Is all those questions. Is there fish? Is there rocks? Is it cold? And one more question when he showed up at my house this morning is like, hey, it's raining. I'm like, where? I don't see any rain. And it was the mist of the fog of the morning, because you're really close to the ocean. You have the little mist, And he's like, no, it is a hold on. There is someone here that is asking me. I cannot hear James. I'm going to tell him that you're not on Zoom. So your mind really literally starts messing with you, right? All these things to find an excuse that will be the good excuse for you not to go in the water, right? And there's traffic, of course, in the 405 after 2 months of no traffic. Today has to be traffic. The rain, that is not really a rain. It's like, have you ever jumped in the water with this climate? I'm like, yes, but we're going to be fine. So it's that portion of it. Your mind is trying to sabotage you, right? And then there's the other part that we went in a run, which what it is, that is you enter into a physiological change. It's action. It's just energy in your body that makes you go on a run. You're running, you're putting a lot of energy into that. You get everything to flow in your body, every cell and everything. So you're exercising. And then when you come back at the end of the run, you're not only warm, right? Because you've been running for a while, but you're psyched up. And, we did a run with him that I always do. We ran all the way there, and the way coming back, we do like a good mile of sprinting for a period of time, and then walking, sprinting, walking, sprinting, walking, which is really, really tiring. And then when you get to the ocean, you start saying, it's like I set my mind, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to jump in the water, and I don't care if it's cold, I don't care if it's a shark, I don't care if it's this, I'm doing this. And that's it's almost like a exercise that you do to show yourself that you're able to do it. It's like Tony Robbins, when we walk on fire, you walk on fire and you psych yourself up. And that's not because you're going to be doing everything you can do by walking on fire or achieving everything by jumping on the water. But that's the message that you send into your brain, is that you have the ability to make a decision and stick to it. And it's going to happen no matter how much your mind wants to sabotage you. And then once you do it, then it comes the reward, right? All the health benefits of doing it, your emotions and the way how you feel and how great you feel and how healthy. And then you're literally, we walk out and I said, are you ready to take any phone call, any difficult situation that you're dealing right now? And James was, yes. So that's the thing, try to put yourself in a place where you can snap out of any bad situation or any bad feeling that you're having, So that's basically it, James. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say. I know you have things to do right now. That's why your connection is not that great, that you're connecting from somewhere else remotely. So I'm going to be mindful of your time, and just maybe if you want to share something else, saying goodbye, and then I'm going to continue with you guys here until like 4 o'clock. Exactly. All right, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I love being there with you, and I'm so proud. I know that having anxiety and dealing with these things it takes a lot, and it's great to see you. And you always been like this. You set your mind and you do things. And I'm proud of you. I love you. Thank you so much for being there, and I'll see you later, James. Love you too. Take care, man. Bye bye. All right, guys, that's just us now. So basically, it was incredible experience. I want to start inviting other people into this, since I'm going to keep doing this, and debating the idea of maybe also starting a podcast. So I'm working on that. But in the meantime, I wanted to start inviting different people like James, inviting some friends that can bring some benefit by sharing ideas to go through these times, which I think we are at hopefully the end of it, and things are normalizing a little bit, which is great. But I'm gonna start challenging other people, so you're gonna be other people jumping in the ocean. If anyone wants to do that one time, let me know, drop me a note, and we'll more than happy to have you guys join us. And let's jump in what I had planned to talk today. And one of the things is again, going to the mind and how to control that, right? So one of the points that I wanted to touch in today, because I find it very challenging sometimes personally and for a lot of people, is how do you, oh, no, give me 1 second. How do you deal with personal problems, right? Someone in your family that is sick, some that is dead. How do we deal with those problems? Sorry, guys, 1 second. Okay. So how do you deal with the personal life and personal problems without affecting your business and without affecting your goals? That's something that I think is important to touch. And reality is that there is no place for personal problems in business. We all have them. We all have problems. We all have issues in the house. We all have someone that's sick. We're all dealing with personal problems, but not from a point of view where people don't care. I don't mean to say people don't care, but again, everybody has their own problems. And when you're doing business with someone, it's just not something that you want to bring in. And how do you set your mind to continue to do what you want to do? Wake up in the morning while you're dealing with a personal situation, and go to work and show up, the best of you, show up and be 100% of yourself or close to it. So, one of the things that I always observed and I admire a lot is Kobe Bryant's Mamba mentality, right? And he developed that Mamba mentality because he had personal issues and he needed to deal with the personal issues. But when he went on a step in the court, he needed to be the Mamba, the Black Mamba. So he chose that to be the Black Mamba while he was dealing with his personal issues and he was, having to go to court and do whatever he needed to do and dealing with that. And it's like, it brings you down. You can be bummed out, depressed, and frustrated, and all those. We talked last time on the emotions chart. So you can be in the lower chart, which is anger, frustration, sadness, all of those. And then how do you snap out of that to jump in a basketball court and play at that level, right? How do you do that? So I highly, highly recommend you guys go on YouTube and find videos of Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality if you put in there. And there is a few videos in there that explain exactly how he did, and having the ability to literally, it's like having two personalities, like having the ability to deal with your personal stuff and then focus on taking that and putting it aside and then going into your business, whether it's basketball, whether it's real estate, and a lot of us is to go and then perform the best you can. So there's certain exercises you can do. Definitely jumping in the ocean is a good exercise because you're exercising and you're going into cold water, so it makes you snap out of whatever mood or feeling that you are in that moment, and then you can go and perform at a different level on your business. So highly encourage you to go YouTube, find those videos, watch him. It's very amazing to see this man, how literally he will walk from the court from the court with judges and stuff to the basketball court, and he will be out there, and I mean, there is this new TV show that we talked about last time with Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, where also, he had that personality too, I mean, you didn't want to cross him in the basketball court, right? A lot of people that came across that he was just rude and ruthless, but that's what it took for him to perform at the level that he performed, I'm not saying that we need to do that because, we're not all basketball players and we don't have to compete at that intensity, but in whatever we do, you need to find a way how to separate things. So ways that I found to do it is, you want to take some notes, is exercise is one of the ways to snap out of it. Another way to come out of those moods or the lower frequency feelings, it would be do something different than what you're doing, right? If you're working in your office, if you're talking to clients and you're showing houses, and a client call and cancels an escrow and something happens and another one, all these issues, and you feel like you just suffocated, and then you're dealing on top of that with a personal issue, you need to take a pause, but you need to be clear with the plan, and you want to make sure that you make everybody aware of that, right? You need to let your family know that you need to go to do either deal with a client or do something super important. So you need time, and then you'll make up the time with the family when you are done dealing with the client, and vice versa. You need to let your clients know that you're dealing with some personal issues without giving details, and you can meet today, but you can make it up tomorrow, or you cannot do certain things now, but you'll make it up and work double and work overtime if you need to later. People will understand that. So another thing that I think is a good thing to do, for at least works for me, is sometimes I decided to go and watch a movie in the movie theater, and I like sci-fi movies and fantasy. So, and the reason why I like to go and choose that is because I feel if I'm sitting here in my office and things are just hitting me from every angle, I'm not going to be able to develop, I'm not going to be able to deal with it the way I want to. So I looked at my phone many times. I mean, people that work with me seen it. I find a movie the closest to here and at the time that, is the closest. And I just go in there, turn off my phone. For 2 hours that you turn off your phone, or a couple hours that you're going to be like giving yourself a break, which is healthy, by the way, you won't lose any deals. You won't lose any clients. People understand 2 hours are not going to make a difference. Obviously, there are time sensitive situations where you need to get a counter offer signed or a contract signed or something. Well, don't go and watch a movie when you need to get something that is sensitive. You're multiple offers or something. I mean, let's make sure that we're covering that end, and let's be real also. But if you go normally, I go and watch a movie, turn on my phone, and I just completely disconnect. Right, you're into the movie, you're in this place, and you're taking a break. But don't go and watch a movie with your phone and texting, because that defeats the purpose. So just turn it off, put it away. Couple hours, trust me, you'll be fine. And then just go there and submerge yourself into the movie, be part of that movie, be part of that fantasy world or sci-fi movie, whatever it is, or whatever your favorite movie. I'm just saying what works for me. And you realize that you're going to give your brain a break. You're going to give yourself a break. Your emotions are going to get a little bit better. You emotionally going to feel better. And by the time you come out of the movie, not only are you going to have a better mood, you're going to feel rested, and you're going to come out of the movie, you're going to turn on your phone, and you'll still have whatever issues you have, but you're going to have a better mood and a better way how to deal with them. You're going to, and this is something that I work myself a lot too. Okay. When I'm talking about this and I'm doing these webinars, it's not that I perfected everything. Okay. I struggle with a lot of things, and I think I'm being open and enough to share with you what I struggle with, because then I can give you examples, right? So only sharing what I do and works for me based on what I learned through the books that I share with you guys, videos that I share with you guys, podcasts, or anything, or any mentor's advice, or everything is that I'm sharing with you, and personal experiences too. So that's a great one. So you can find anything, right? So exercise is definitely number one. Why? Because when you change your physiology, and Tony Robbins is huge on this, you change everything in you. We're energy beings, and we have cells. And when you exercise and you put yourself in a different state, everything in your body changes. The blood goes. It's just amazing, right? So that helps. It's easier. Going into movies, taking a walk. I mean, like somewhere quiet, taking a hike. Go to the top of a hike and then set yourself a little blanket and meditate. Meditation is obviously another one. I have it here as number 3, 2 actually. The movie is number 3. So exercise, meditation. Meditation is great. Why is meditation so great? And what is meditation? All this thing about meditation. Because in order for your mind to operate the best, you need to disconnect it from the world, right? You're connected through your eyes, through your ears, through your senses, constantly to a world that right now, for example, is a tough time to be glued to the TV, the news, what you hear out there, the different opinions, the emails, the text, all the conspiracy theories, some more believable than other ones. Everything that is coming constantly, all this information, your brain is like cluttered, right? So the point of doing the meditation is just basically to separate and disconnect your mind from everything that is happening out there. Because when you disconnect your mind from everything that's happening out there, then you're going to be able to hear your mind better. You're going to be able to hear, the ideas are going to come down. You're going to feel better. So that's another excellent way how to snap out of situations and change around and come back and be able to handle it better, right? You're not going to come back with a solution for it. You're not going to come back like a superhero, but you're going to come back with a better attitude and emotionally in a different place. From the chart of emotions, you're probably going to go from being in the bottom of the bottom half, at least jump across the border of going into the good emotions, right? And the feeling better, excited, this, and then you start going up in that. If you can switch and just switch from the negative to the positive, I'm telling you, you'll go back to your office and you'll deal with those issues much better. You'll go back home and you deal with your things much better. So you need to find ways how to do it. So I pick those 3 are the 3 that I do the most. There is a number of other ways how to do it. You just need to find a way how to find something that helps you. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk to you guys today. Again, everything coming from the mind, which is what we have control over it, right? Out of everything that is happening right now, the only thing that we have control is our mind. Once we have control of our mind, we can control what we think, or the thoughts that are coming into our mind. And we have a lot of thoughts. We have a gigantic freeway of thoughts are coming constantly, good ones, bad ones, negatives, and this and that. So if you can learn how to, selectively pick the thoughts you want to think, then you're going to feel the way that you should be feeling. You're going to feel excited, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel happy. The thoughts you want to, and the visualization is so great. And I don't know how many of you guys have been doing the visualization and how you're liking it, but one of the great things about that is that it gets you in a set of mind of something that you want, right? It's like the universe is a catalog, and you're picking everything you want, like whether it's that card, being in that experience, traveling, being with the people you love, whatever it is that you're visualizing is gonna get your good emotions to go to the surface and make you feel good. And when you're feeling good, from that point, you are a better person, better fitted to deal with issues. Yeah, whether they're personal or business, you're going to be much better to deal with those things. Breathing exercises, I want to add. Let's add that one in there, because I just actually downloaded about a couple months ago the Wim Hof app, which is really cool. You have options in there, and then he teaches you breathing exercises, which they also have a lot of health benefits, immune system, and a lot of things. He also walks you through doing a stretch exercises using the breathing exercises. And then he does a few challenges, and one of them is like showering in cold water. And then eventually there is you qualify it, and you go to the cold plunge, or ice baths, basically, that you can go in there. Cool app. Definitely waking up in the morning and before or after you go to bed, doing that exercise, the breathing is unbelievable. I never thought that I was going to be able to hold my breath for like nearly 4 minutes. I feel like sometimes I go in an elevator and either it was a bad smell, or sometimes you get in an elevator and somebody just left something in there, or you go in an elevator and someone sneezes. And now more than ever, you go in an elevator and you want to hold your breath, right? And honestly, I mean, in my office, we have 9 floors, and our office is in the 8th floor. And I struggle to hold my breath from the 1st floor to the 8th floor. But now that I'm doing this exercise and the way how he teaches you how to bring oxygen to your blood, honestly, I'm being able to hold 3 minutes 50 my breath. And I'm improving. This is an amazing exercise. So those that want to try it, you should try it. It's not an expensive app, and it's a really easy exercise, guided on what you need to do. I love it. Wim Hof the Iceman. You can Google him, and has an amazing story too. This guy, developed this when his wife passed away. His wife, actually, the love of his life, committed suicide and left him with his kids, and he was in a very bad place. And he developed these cold exercises and plunges when he went and jumped into a frozen, basically, lake in between the ice. And when he went inside the water, he learned that he wanted to feel that cold to see how it feels. I guess when you go to so much pain, everybody reacts differently, and your mind is telling you to do different things. So he started developing an exercise how the breathing will allow you to go in the water. And what he does with the breathing is he's learned how to control where the blood goes and block it. So he's got the world record Guinness of someone that has been under ice for the longest, swimming under ice water the longest. He's gone to Mount Everest with nothing but shorts and tennis shoes. He's done barefoot mountain climbings and stuff like that. Google the guy, is incredible. And what he did is he found a way that through breathing and controlling your mind, you can actually heal yourself. And he's gone through tests in hospitals. I watched a video actually a couple of nights ago. Griffin, who works with me, asked me to look at it. Asked me if I did it, and I didn't. So I was curious to go and look at it, and I went and looked at it. And he explains it. He literally, people start, the TV came and started telling him, hey, can you do 10 more minutes now? Can you run farther without shoes or get in the cold? And so he started getting challenged by that. And then, he said that he could heal himself. So doctors wanted to test him, and he went into a, lab, and he got injected bacteria and stuff that will get you sick, that will give you a sickness, right? And with his mind and his breathing exercises, he never got sick. He beat all those injections of things they're putting in his vein. So doctors thought that he was just a freak of nature. Okay, that he's the only person can do that. It's amazing, but he's the only person that can do that. So he wanted to prove that this is for everybody, and then he went and got some of his students to go and be submitted to this test too. And I think grabbed 10 or 12 of them. All went to this lab. All got injected with this bacteria or virus or whatever it was, and because they trained with him and they controlled their mind, they all reacted the same way. They all beat the sickness. No one got sick. They all be able to get the immune system to react in the way. So this is real, right? I mean, if you can do that through breathing and you can learn how to control your mind, imagine if you can beat viruses and bacteria. I mean, isn't it amazing? So go and check that guy out. Challenge yourself to do things like James and I did this morning. I do it because it helps me stay in track and helps me snap out of bad situations or bad feelings sometimes. It's a very nice thing to do. It's like almost like showing the universe and yourself that you're capable to do something that you say you're going to do it, and no matter what. And you have to, once you commit to something, you have to do it, because if you don't do it, the message that you're sending actually to your subconscious is not the message you want to be sending. It's failure, is fear, all those things. So you're sending that to the subconscious. Your subconscious is sending that out there, and then you're getting more of that. But if you actually complete it, you do the jump, you get in the water, and you finish the thing, then you're going to feel a lot better. So now I like to open it up to some questions. I know that we do that always just about this time. So we have about 20 minutes to answer questions. What the name of reading app? I'll put in here someone in Zoom. Darian Robin actually asked me, and I'm going to respond here. Let's see. I'm going to respond over here. App is Wim Hof. There you go. You have it. I'll put it on Instagram too. I'll actually, you know what? I'm going to take a picture of the app later, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram and my social media so you guys can get it from there. Let me go and see if any more questions here in Zoom. I don't see anyone in Zoom, so I'm going to put this aside for a second. I'm going to start with that. There you go. Yes, someone is asking me here, would you go back to the Wednesday at 10 a.m. live? Yes, I actually going to go back to the 10 a.m. in the morning Wednesday. This week was a little challenging week, so I kind of move around that, and thanks for joining and understanding. I don't like changing times, but I'm going to go back to Wednesdays at 10 o'clock in the morning. This is just for now, 10 in the morning Pacific time. Okay, so just make sure that's clear. So let me see here. Sarina is asking, are you going to do a reality series yet? I'd rather watch you than selling sunset. Oh, that's funny. Thank you. Yes, not at this point. I haven't thought about doing that. It's not a definite no, but for the immediate time, I'm not doing any reality TV show. What I'm actually going to do, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, is I might start a podcast. And I want to do the podcast because I know a lot of interesting people. I know a lot of successful people. I know some amazing people that are great teachers, and I learn a lot from them. And I think I can invite people that are going to bring a lot of value to everybody's life and a lot of experiences. So that's more likely for me to come in the near future than a reality TV. However, I haven't heard any proposals on doing something different, because just doing another TV show, going and selling houses is not something that I'm, I think it's saturated. I think that we have our star James in there. We don't need more than that. I mean, he's amazing in the TV show with his partner David. I love watching them. So yeah, so that's with that. There is another one here. Okay, Raisa, hello. How to get motivation to sales when nobody is buying anything, and what's the best strategy? Um, I mean, I can only speak from experience. I don't think nobody's buying anything personally, and unless you're in a, you know, I mean, unless you're in places like, which I know that there nobody's buying anything, like Mexico City, for example, they're going through a really bad time because unfortunately the president, you know, made a statement that it was crazy, and he decided that he was. I mean, this is in the news. I'm not just making it up. He said that he was the son of God, and that Mexico was not going to be affected because of that, and the coronavirus was a sickness for the rich and wealthy people, and poor people wouldn't be affected because, you know, that's what God told him. Well, that fired back. I mean, Mexico City is one of the worst disaster zones right now with the pandemic. I don't know if you know heard about it or not, but I know there are places like that. So if you are in one of those places, I mean, I'm so sorry. It's tough. I think what you can do is again focus on your mind and your feelings and the way how you feel, and eventually things will get back, you know, to a good place. I have friends in Bolivia where the situation was pretty bad too, in a sense that you couldn't get out and work or anything. They locked them pretty good, where you cannot even walk on the street. And one of my friends who owns a development company, he develops high rises. He opened in his backyard, basically on his grill, hamburger company, and he started cooking a ton of delicious hamburgers and sending deliveries to everybody. And actually, he officially now is going to keep that business, obviously not at his house, but he's created this company with his brothers and set it up, and his brothers are going to run this burger joint now. So maybe there's an opportunity to find something that you can do now with what you can do and take advantage of that. The motivation, how you get the motivation to do it, is through all this that I'm explaining to you. I don't know if you joined me in the first 7 episodes, Raisa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right or not, but if not, you guys can always go to my YouTube channel. I upload everything in there, so you have the chance to listen again if you want to listen again or revisit. But there's a number of ways how I explained how to motivate yourself. You know, exercise, visualization, meditation, reading books that they give you that motivation, and anything that can help in there. I put it all I know in there. There's a lot incredible teachers out in YouTube. I mean, you can just go on YouTube and put how to motivate myself, and I'm sure you're gonna find Tony Robbins and a lot of incredible people out there, you know, that you can like listen to those videos instead of watching the news. That will get you in a better place, I think. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Let me see here. Okay. Greetings from Canada. Hello, Canada. Okay. Adidas Nike 5490. That's a cool name. At what age did you make your first sale, and how did you get it? It's actually a cool story. Age, I started doing real estate when I was 24, and my first sale was in 2006. I think it took me a year and a half to do my first sale, and I was waiting tables at the same time I was starting with real estate. And one of the waiters that worked with me, he was an actor from Australia, Mick Tyre, really nice guy, one of the nicest individuals I met in my life. Him and his wife are great people. And I was talking to him, and he said, "Hey, I heard that you are a real estate agent too." And I said, "Yes." And he said, "I'm thinking about maybe selling my condo, which is 2 blocks from here. Would you be interested in coming and take a look?" So I went and looked at it, and he, God bless him, because he trusted in me at the time. And he gave me the opportunity to make my first sale with his condo, which I know was like very important for him. So that was my first sale. It was a condo that I sold in the $400,000 range. I remember. It was a great. It's just one of those things that you always want to remember. I remember I had a couple open houses, and in one of the open houses, someone walked without an agent, asked me to represent them. I ended up doing 2 sides of the deal, and that was my first deal at the age of 26. It was a great deal. Mario is asking here, what do you do when a project isn't working? look, if a project isn't working, you maybe want to find ways how to approach the project in different angles. Maybe you want to bring people that has done this kind of stuff before, mentors, people with experience for their opinion. I like to always open up because I like to hear opinions from different perspectives, right? I mean, sometimes you're like looking at it from one angle because you've been dealing with that for so long that you're not seeing certain things. But if you open it up to someone else, or you ask questions, and people that are looking at it from different perspectives or different angles, they can give you a little few tips on how to, change that. And then when it comes to change, I think we mentioned this before, and if I didn't, I probably did it in another seminar or something. But you don't have to make huge changes unless you know that what you're doing absolutely is not working, and it's obvious that you need to make a drastic change. Normally, I use the analogy of golfing, although I don't golf, and this was explained to me, that when you golf and you're shooting, to get the ball into the hole, and it's like 300 feet, you don't want to change, the club too much. It's like you make little adjustments of, in the angle how you hit it, 2-3 millimeters when you hit the ball on 300 feet, 200 feet, or how far you want to send it. And don't quote me in this one because, again, I don't play golf, so I don't know if I've been talking about realistic numbers or not. But those 2-3 millimeters are going to become meters when you get there. So it's little tweaks, little changes that sometimes you need to do to work on projects and stuff like that to see big changes in the future, and patience, and just keep trying different things. And again, I've never been embarrassed or afraid to ask for advice to people that done it before and they had good results. It's always great to ask and be open to also receive the message that people want to give you. Hope that it helps. Hey, hello, Rodrigo from Santa Cruz, Bolivia. ¿Cómo están, bolivianos? Un saludo aquí de Los Ángeles. Gracias por conectarse. Gandhi Soria, what type of prospecting would you recommend in order to generate more business, and what worked for you in the beginning of your career that helped you get where you are today? You have the traditional methods of prospecting, right? Everybody knows the real estate prospecting 101, cold calling, door knocking, sending mailers, working with your sphere of influence, calling your relatives, your friends, your high school friends, your buddies, and let them know that this is what you're doing now so they can help you with your business. All those are great ways to prospect. Some people tweak them a little bit, some not. You need to find your personality, what does better. I mean, for me, cold calling wasn't that great of an option because I have a very thick accent. And if you think that I was thick, you should have heard me back in 2006, 2007. So I think calling and trying to talk to someone, it wouldn't be, I wasn't as fluid in English at the time because I learned English in 2003 to be able to handle a phone call where I might be put in a spot, and I didn't want that to be an obstacle. I never felt that no speaking the language, and my wife can attest to this. When I wrote emails sometimes or responded people with no very good grammar, I never felt that was something that would stop me. But at the same time, I was aware and I was realistic that cold calling was not my call, right? So I mentioned last week about someone that is amazing at cold calling. Works in my office. His name is Ben Belak. He's going to be one of my guests soon. I will announce it. And we're working on some dates. He's going to basically, I'm going to invite him to tell us everything about cold calling and teach us and show us what is that he's so successful in cold calling. So he'll be invited in the next few weeks. And then, for me, it was door knocking, and for me, it was sitting open houses. Now, obviously, because in the situation we are and wherever we are in the world, that might not be a great of an option, right? Because, you go door knocking, you're not going to want to door knock with a mask. The people are going to think you're robbing them. Imagine you open the door and it's like, hey, with a mask on, people probably going to slam the door in your face. But you need to find other options for how to deal with this right now until they open up and you're able to go and be in front of people again, right? That's for people that are into real estate specifically, obviously. Let me see, somebody asking where I'm from. I'm from Bolivia originally. Yep, people are happy about the cold calling seminar. Thank you. Kay Brooks 29 says I must be the only one here that is not in real estate, but she still learned so much. Thank you. I'm glad that I'm being able to bring value. Let me see. We have some questions in Zoom right now, which are being very quiet. Joseph Street, how are you, Joseph? Do you send out email blasts to clients and prospects? If so, how often? Yes. Email blasts, I think, are a great way. Technology now is take over with the e-blast, right? I send e-blasts weekly. You don't want to bombard people with e-blasts too much, also because your clients already been bombarded with a number of e-blasts from everything, right? From every company, everywhere that you buy a water, pair of shoes or something that you give in your email, you're going to be getting e-blasts. So you don't want to be that extra burden. So try to be careful on how many e-blasts you send. But yes, I do. I think that's an important tool. Let's see, any more questions here? No. Let's go back to Instagram. Seems like they're asking a lot more questions. Reyes Jansen's Real Estate Group says, Hola Santiago, you get a feel of what works for you and what doesn't. That's, I think, not a question. That was a statement that he's doing, and he's absolutely right. You got to get a feel what does and what doesn't work for you. We're all different, and we're all wired differently, and you need to capitalize on what God has given you, right? God has given us all different tools, and we need to find what those tools are, and we need to work with that, you know? Monique asking, is that tequila? No, I wish. This is water. Daniel LM at Remax says, how do we break into the high-end market? I think that's a question that's been asked before. I don't mind answering again. The only way to break into the high-end market is to meet people that own high-end homes, you know? How are you going to do that? Is there different ways how to do it, right? Sitting open houses of bigger houses will be one of them. Going to places where you're going to be entertaining or exchanging, you know, time with people. They have more expensive houses, right? That's the only way to break into the high-end market. Obviously, targeting the high-end market neighborhoods, sending mailers to the high-end neighborhoods, everything that gets you to be in front of people that own the houses on those high-end markets is what's going to get you in the high-end market. And you know, it's going to take time. You're going to get one, and that one you're going to use it to when you go to the next one to say that you are able to sell that one, and you start building a little portfolio and credibility. And then you'll deal with another issue that I deal sometimes now is where people are like, I was going to refer you to my sister, but I thought that the house was too small for you, so I didn't give it to you. I gave it to someone else. I'm like, how much was the house? $8 million. I'm like, what are you talking about? Why? So, you know, you need to be careful also with the perception that people get out there that, you know, the fact that you sell ultra high-end homes doesn't mean that you don't sell regular homes. I mean, like this year I sold smaller houses. Last year I sold even condos for under $1 million. You know, it's a real estate transaction. It's a real estate transaction. The things like with the high end is a lot more noticeable and a lot more glamorous. So people are really just paying attention to that. So, but that's the way how to break it in there. Hopefully that helps you. Peter Torkan, what's up, buddy? Is asking, are you farming an area, brother? If so, how many homes and how often do you send mailers? I've done farming before, although I'm not currently doing a specific farming, but well, I guess I could say that I do because I work mainly on the Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, Brentwood area, Malibu, and, you know, kind of like Bel Air, this portion of Los Angeles. So because I work in that area, when sales happen in that area, I do send my mailers into that area. So yes, I could say I am farming in an area, and I touch base in different ways. You know, when you just sell something, it's an important way to send a message so they can see you're active. When you list something, it's important to send something so they see you're active. Being present in that area is important, right? You want to be in the coffee shops where people see you. You want to have your signs out. You want to advertise perhaps in the paper or magazine in that area where they will see you, see your name in the sign, all those kind of things. So hopefully that helps, Peter. That's what I'm doing for now. Nina Takesh, how are you, Nina? What is the next neighborhood in LA to boom? Wow, that's a great question. I think there are going to be a lot of, I mean, I don't have an answer for that, by the way. I don't have a crystal ball. I can only think based on the growth of the city and things that are happening. I think Culver City already had boom already. It's going to continue to grow. Anything that is going to be close to the new Rams Stadium is going to obviously become more gentrified, and there's going to be a lot of restaurants and things around it. So I will look into places where you're going to have that kind of activity, like the stadium. I mean, Pacific Palace, it's an area that continuously is growing and growing and growing for many different reasons. I think Malibu is on fire right now. There is different areas, and there is different areas within the area, right? Not all Malibu is on fire and is hot. Not everything in Culver City is like that. So you just kind of have to analyze and see what area within the area is the next area that is going to grow. But I think that anywhere between downtown to the ocean, coming from the west side of the city, which is basically south of the 10 freeway, is gonna grow, and I think that'll be the next area where values are gonna go up. I have Reyes Jensen's again, another question. Thanks, buddy. You're asking a lot of questions. I love that. Santiago, do you guys cover San Diego? Yes, we do. We cover San Diego, although we don't have a physical office in there. We're able to service San Diego in different ways, whether it's co-listing with someone in the area. We get a lot of calls from clients. They want us to co-list with their current agents because they want the presence and the power that the agency has to reach out, and our Rolodex and our marketing too. So, but we also have the office in Orange County that covers and is closer to San Diego. So we do business in there. We don't have a current office in there, but we do business. We do a good amount of business down there. Andy, how are you? Good to see you twice today. It was nice to see you in the meeting this morning. Tanya is asking if I have a team. I'm not the team kind of guy. I know there's a lot of people that have teams with 10, 20 people, 50 people. That never worked with me. I have two people that work with me in the form of an assistant, and I have an associated real estate agent. His name is Griffin. The guy works really close to me. He's my right hand. But we don't have a huge team, and we don't have buyers agents, sellers agents, anything of that kind. We're more of like a small operation, and that works for me. I've seen people, and I have a lot of friends that have big teams, and they love it. But this has worked for me for these 16 years, and I'm happy this way. So. Adidas said, how do you get into development, and what made you want to start? Adidas, Nike, I mean, development is something that I always love. I think we're going to get disconnected in 2 minutes, so this is going to be the last question, and I'm going to be super fast. When I was growing up as a kid, I debated the idea of being an architect, so I always loved building. I had a cousin that was living with us and studying architecture, and he'll be doing all his stuff, drawings and little houses, and I always enjoy the process of building and creating something. I work with a lot of developers, and I've seen the whole process from finding a property, buying it, do the financing, developing it, and then selling it as a spec home, and I enjoyed it. I had, again, a lot of experience. I've been doing that for almost 10 years, specializing in new construction, and that got me to want to get myself involved into it and doing development myself, and something that I really enjoy. I'm passionate about it. And then, guys, with that, I'm going to close up now. There's a few more questions I'd love to answer, but Instagram's going to cut me in 1 minute. So thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed. This was super fun. I hope you enjoyed the video with James. I'll put the Wim Hof app into my story right now so you can all download it. And I'm looking forward to see you next week at 10 o'clock Pacific time on Wednesday. 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time on Wednesday. We're back to the normal time. And looking forward to seeing you again. And don't forget to go also to my YouTube channel if you want to listen to this or any of the other ones, or someone that just joined now and missed out on the other ones. I have a lot of material in there now. Santiago Arana official channel. I'll see you there. I'll see you here. Hope you have an amazing weekend. Send love to everyone.